Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. This is Breakdown of Raw's very first exclusive pay-per-view Clash of Champions. I'm Ritz. This right here, this is Jax.
Real quick, I thought you could stop recording.
No, it said start recording.
Oh.
Now it says stop recording.
Okay, start streaming. Okay, never mind. Carry on.
Okay, so that being said, here we are. You're probably wondering why this moron has the belt on his shoulder. If you followed us on Facebook today, I went out and bought the belt. So that when we do predictions for these pay-per-views, we can have a reason to do it. We can have a title. Unfortunately, this evening we tied. So the title is held up and will stay held up until No Mercy on October 9th.
But you remember that time whenever The Rock just took the belt?
That's not happening.
And I'm not going to take it, but I'm just saying, you remember whenever Stone Cold was like, I want my Smoking Skull belt, and Austin's like, well, you son of a bitch, I got it. That's what I'm doing right now. He's the Stone Cold to my Rock right now.
Are you looking at the camera or are you looking at the TV?
TV.
Look at the camera.
Looking at the camera now.
Looking at the
They
camera.
can't even see my eyes. They don't know where I'm looking.
Just look at the camera.
Okay.
Okay. So let's start off the evening. We have the New Day retaining their titles over Gallows and Anderson.
Great match.
It really was. It was a great match. I'm not sure how I feel about Xavier getting involved in the end. I said it when it happened. It felt kind of heelish.
I'm okay with that.
I am too, but they're the baby faces in the match.
No, they're the faces, not baby faces. There's
Right.
Okay, because this is what I realized.
I agree.
There's two different types of good guys. There's the baby face, John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
There's the face, Dean Ambrose. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, fair.
Like there's two different spectrums of it, and the New Day has always stayed on the face side, not baby face. And I think that that's what makes it so good, because they're still the good guys who occasionally will cheat to win.
Right. So we both picked the New Day for that match, and the New Day won. Did you just polish the plastic?
I had to polish it, man. It shines so well.
It's plastic.
It shines so well.
Anyway, really decent match. There were a couple times where we thought Gallows and Anderson were going to take it, especially in the beginning.
Right?
That was going to be a really quick match.
I was like, son of a bitch, like
talk about a potential squash.
It would have been it would have been a bad way for them to go to $3.99 with that bullshit. Like I would have felt some type of way. But overall, like the match was great. Actually, every match
was really
overall
good.
was really good. There were some matches I didn't really care about, but overall, every match was good.
So not a lot to take away from that match aside from, is this the end of the feud?
I hope so.
And if it is the end of the feud, who do you put up against the New Day?
I guess like you have Enzo and Cass still.
Mm-hmm, but they're
the
face.
Shining Stars. Doesn't matter.
They suck.
They do. Who else do you have that's a tag team that's a face on the roster for Raw? Because SmackDown really capitalized on the
tag team. They really, really did. And I don't know what you would do with the tag team division.
You bring Luke Harper back. You put it with Braun Strowman.
You could do that, but that takes away from what they've been building for Braun, in my opinion.
God, it's garbage. It's shit. It's pure shit.
It is, but hopefully, and I'm begging that they know what they're doing and they have an idea.
For fuck's sake. Okay, fair enough.
That being said,
but the moral story is that as much as I love Gallows and Anderson, move on.
Right.
Move on for right now. Let them revisit it for another pay-per-view, not the next one, but let them take a pay-per-view off for going for the titles.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay.
So we transition from the tag team division to the very first defense of the beautiful cruiserweight title.
First of all,
TJ Perkins.
Kendrick. Dude.
Well done, sir.
37 years old, thought it was the end of his career, and putting on a show.
He really is.
Bravo. Like, I don't think you guys grasp the concept. If you don't, sorry. I don't think you guys grasp the concept if you're not like fans of wrestling. Because I mean, you look at John Cena, he's like in his 40s. That's fine, whatever. Brian Kendrick is 37 years old. He quit or got let go from WWE when he was in his 20s. He's now 37. It's supposed to be like this revamping of his career, and the dude is a cruiserweight who still fights like a cruiserweight. Now I know you had Tajiri, who was in his mid 40s, who was killing the game, but Brian Kendrick is one of those older guys that came back and is trying to prove something. And I'm not mad at him. Like the match wasn't slow. There was not really any. There was like one botch during the match that I called.
Right.
But everything else in the match was smooth. It was beautiful.
And
like it's a game changer.
We put a lot of focus on Brian Kendrick. Let's talk about TJ Perkins. Your winner of the Cruiserweight Classic, which the match, the Grand Metro League TJ Perkins match was beautiful.
Yep.
Absolutely a performance. The belt looks great. Didn't see him on Raw, which kind of bothered me.
A little bit.
But it was totally worth it when he had his debut tonight with that entrance and the whole video game vibe you got. Like, there's another person for up, down, down. If he's not on up, down, down, it's a mistake.
He'll be there in the future for sure.
I'm really liking what they're doing with these cruiserweights. How they're actually letting them go out there and be cruiserweights.
Thank you.
The Hurricane Rana's out of the ring. Something we haven't seen since WCW days.
Because the cruiserweights were always the guys that did things that every other weight class wouldn't do.
Right.
That's why, like, I became a fan of wrestling not because of wrestling, but because of the cruiserweights.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Juventud Guerrero. I watched Ultimo Dragon. I watched Rey Mysterio.
Right.
I watched Psycho Crazy. Like, I watched all those guys. Psychosis. I watched them because they're small dudes that weighed anywhere from 140 to 180 pounds.
Right.
And were teared up in the ring. And their skill set was so different from the guys that were heavier. And it just drew me because everything on the match was fast paced, fast paced, fast paced. Now that wasn't the case tonight. It's not a big deal, but a lot of people weren't behind TJ Perkins when he won the Cruiserweight Classic.
They wanted Kota Ibushi to win. He was the front runner.
Or Rich Swann.
Right. They were the front runners.
Right. And then when it came down to TJP or Grand Metro League, they wanted Grand Metro League to win.
Right.
And he didn't win. Not taking away from TJP. TJP is a fantastic.
And what I've noticed, and you talk about fast-paced cruiserweight matches, if you go back and you watch the Cruiserweight Classic, pick any match, it's not really a fast-paced match. None of them. That was brutally fast-paced. From a more brutal standpoint. When I'm talking fast-paced, I'm talking flips and flying and high-flying stuff. Cruiserweights, to a degree, don't have to do that anymore.
No, they don't.
Because they're taking, and we talked about it, they're taking simple moves and making them larger than life.
Yeah.
Like we talked about Ibushi's powerbomb. We talked about, what else was it? The Hurricane Rana.
The German suplex.
The German suplex.
The senton bomb.
Yeah.
The running senton.
Right. Absolutely.
Because I can't remember his name, but he was from Japan as well. Like Akira something, or whatever the guy's name was. The guy
I know who you're talking about.
The guy who had the German suplex, the most beautiful German suplex in the sport.
Right.
Like, they take these easy moves and make them bigger, but it has so much more, like, oomph behind it. Like, I can't say anything about Grand Metro League because his flips off the ropes and his walking the ropes is sick.
He truly is.
And his Metro League driver is beautiful. Absolutely. It's a Death Valley driver between the legs.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
The people that they sign, the people that they've advertised, the people that have shown up on Raw and done what they can do, you can't really pick a fault in any of them.
Nope. You can't pick anything between Cedric, between
Swan,
Rich, between Grand Metro League, between TJP,
Brian Kendrick,
Noam Dar. You can't pick anything about him.
Gallagher.
They haven't brought him up yet.
But he was promoted for it.
He was.
So was
Jack
Dar.
Jack Gallagher. I want him versus Zack Sabre Jr. Book it. I want it. I want it. Because Zack Sabre Jr. is such a technical wrestler.
Yes.
And Jack Gallagher looks at wrestling like it's chess. And that would be the most technical match you've ever seen in your life.
Which is tough for some fans to watch, though.
It is.
It'd be a match that people like you and I would sit there and we would like.
Right. Daniel Bryan brought that up. He's like, not every match is going to get everybody out of their seat because they don't know what they're looking for.
Right.
Like, you watch a Zack Sabre Jr. match, everything was technical. You watch a Jack Gallagher match, everything was technical. And you could see that if you were, like, a wrestling fan. Not just there for, like, smoke in the mirrors and, like, oh my God, Roman. Like, if you were there for the wrestling, those guys put on clinics.
Oh, absolutely.
Ridiculous.
It was to sum up the Cruiserweight Classic in one sentence, 10 weeks of clinics.
That was, yeah. It's like, he's like 5 words. But no, clinic. For sure. For sure.
TJ Perkins takes the win.
Yep.
With that beautiful, what do they call it? The leg bar?
The leg bar.
Leg bar.
The leg bar. Or no, sorry, knee bar.
Knee bar.
The knee bar.
It is probably on my list of top 10 submission maneuvers.
Because it comes out of
Of
nowhere.
all time.
It can come out of
It
nowhere.
absolutely. It's
And
like
when
a
he
diamond
figure
cutter on
fours-
submission moves.
And he figure fours it in. It's beautiful. It looks so smooth. It looks so clean. And the fact that people, when he locks in the figure four portion, have to drag him and they can't, beautiful.
So he goes to, Brian Kendrick goes to shake his hand and wrecks him
Called
with
it
the headbutt.
all day.
But he wrecks him
Just
with a
hit
headbutt.
in the face. It was beautiful.
Which is kind of going to set up a little program. And I personally, we talk about how SmackDown won the tag team division. Raw with the Cruiserweights. It's only up from here. And we were really nervous when it said Raw's getting the Cruiserweights.
I didn't understand.
Because
I get it now, but
It
I
didn't make
understand.
sense initially, but now it makes sense, and we're in for a treat. I think personally.
It's there to fill in all the BS fucking promos that they do now. That's what Cruiserweight Classic is for, but I'm okay with it. Anywho.
So we move on from that. Now, mind you, we're still tied 2-2 throughout this whole evening. We move on to the best of 7 series. All right, before he goes on his rant, let me set the stage for you. Cesaro versus Sheamus. Sheamus was up 3-0, and Cesaro came back to tie it up this past Monday on Raw.
You let me know what I can do.
Tonight was supposed to be the match that ended it all. The match that gave us a winner to fight for a title. I'm assuming of his choosing. From there, there's the story. Now here's the reaction. Get off the table. Get off. You can't even be seen, fool.
Vince, because you're the man who owns this, explain to me.
You can't be seen, homie.
It doesn't matter. They just need to see this right here. This is the magic maker. Look, I'll back up for you. I don't give a fuck about nothing. How? In the blue, green, red, yellow, or teal hell did you decide, you know what'd be smart? Let's have 2 guys fight each other for 7 matches. But we'll make it a best out of 7 series. They'll go 3-3 for 6. And on the 7th one, we'll tell the ref to tell them they can't compete because they're hurt too bad. Who the fuck did you pay to make that plan? Because you could have paid me the same amount and I would have given you a better one. I want to take that idea. I want you to say it again so I throw them both in the trash. I didn't like anything about it. Vince, it was a great match. It was a great match that now meant nothing. And I know you're going to do something on Raw or the following Raw. That's not the point. The point is you made us sit through 7 of the same...
No, we only had to sit through 6. One was in London in a house show.
For fuck's sake, I watched it.
Did you really?
Yes, because
Oh.
it's on YouTube.
Oh.
You had me, him. He sat through 6. You had me sit through 7 of the same goddamn match with 2 of the same goddamn competitors back to back to back to back to back to back. For what? Go
You only went
fuck
6.
yourself. That is all.
So
You piece of horse garbage. Horse garbage. They don't even do
stop.
garbage.
Hey.
Goddamn goat smuggler.
Hey,
Goddamn wanker.
hey, relax.
I'm raging against
I
this
know. To his point, it was a great match, and I'm not gonna lie. Going into it, I really thought that I wasn't gonna care at all because it was the 7th time we've seen the match. Actually, it's more like the 9th time we've seen the match.
Right.
But it's the 7th match in the series. We all knew it was gonna go to 7. We all knew that when Sheamus was up 3-0, Cesaro was gonna come back. Like it was a predictable series.
It was predictable as
But
fuck.
the match was actually really good. And by the time they go over the barricade, I'm invested. I'm actually interested in seeing, okay, how's this gonna play out? How's this
Oh my
gonna
god, one time. Jesus
how's this
fuck.
gonna play out? And then the ref stops him.
Yeah. So, okay, just so you're clear what happened. Cesaro clotheslined Sheamus and himself over the barricade. Wasn't a running clothesline, just a oof over the barricade. Cesaro says, I can't feel my arm. Okay, I get it. But Sheamus is somehow knocked the fuck out, and the ref says, they can't compete anymore, ring the bell. Excuse the fuck out of me? Excuse the fuck out of me. That match was so good, and you blew it on that bullshit? Come on, man. Horrible.
Like I couldn't understand if they went through the tables
Thank you.
or they went through the ring.
Give them a double count out with him getting blown through the barricade? Fine.
Yeah, I'm
But
good.
you let him clothesline over the barricade and bitch about his arm, then 10 seconds later say, I'm ready to fight. No, that's not how you do it. That's horrible garbage.
It could have been done really
It
well.
got booed.
And I want to give benefit of the doubt that there was a plan for it to go really well and somebody somewhere screwed up. I'm a firm believer in that sometimes, but this one's really hard for me.
Only you.
But because sometimes the people executing the plan are the ones that screw it up. May not be the plan, but it's those people executing the plan. So,
Right.
and we'll never know. We'll never know what was supposed to happen.
Right.
Okay? So, moving on from that clusterfuck, we go to,
Women's title.
yeah, women's title. Triple threat match for the women's title. You have Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Bayley.
Hold on. I should have stuck with my gut because I said that Charlotte was going to win. And at the last second, I said, no, wait. Bayley will win.
And that's why this bad boy
Bayley.
still held up.
Because Bayley. Because I love me some Bayley.
So-
Bayley got pinned.
So, and I even told you, Bayley gets the pin because she got the pin on Monday to keep Sasha looking strong.
Right.
Didn't I say that?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so it was a great match. The women's division
So
on Raw and SmackDown,
So
ever since WrestleMania, the matches have been great. We've gotten great matches through and through. I think having Bayley in the match initially, I thought was a bad move. I thought it took away from the Charlotte Sasha feud that everybody wanted to see from SummerSlam.
Absolutely.
But it gave the match a different dimension, which is always good. If you give it the right dimension, then you're fine. But if you give it the wrong dimension, it can really ruin a match. And thankfully, we got that. We got that right formula. Dana Brooke got involved, as expected.
Yep.
She got involved a little bit more than I thought she would.
Exactly the amount I thought she would. It makes sense.
Well, only because I thought it wasn't going to be till the finish we were going to see Dana get involved, like closer up to the finish.
Right.
She got involved pretty early on.
Right.
Which almost took it away, like took the specialness of the match away from me. Because I think if you do the interference too early, it doesn't mean anything. If
You set a precedent that it's going to happen again, obviously, in the future.
Right, and if
Yeah.
you do it too late, it doesn't matter.
Right.
There's that right moment when you're supposed to do it, and I think they pushed that envelope a little bit tonight. Overall, though, it was still probably one of the matches of the night.
Beautiful match.
Charlotte obviously retained the title because neither of us won this bad boy. But it leaves room for Charlotte and Sasha to go at it again because Sasha's going to have the argument she didn't get pinned. And it could set up something with Bayley and Dana Brooke. Because when Dana Brooke
Bayley's
got
got to put
involved,
her roots in to be part of the main roster.
right, but not even that. But when Bailey got involved. I mean, Dana Brooke got involved. It was a little bit on Bailey initially.
Right.
So they could go that route. It's a stretch, but they could go that route. And I think putting Bailey with Dana right now is the right thing for both people.
Right.
Because it lets Bailey more or less go over, because we know it'll happen. But it gives Dana Brooke that in-ring time that I think she needs. Dana Brooke has the potential to be probably one of the best if she just grasps the concept a little bit more.
Yeah.
There are moments where it's really tough for me to watch her in the ring because it's bad. But she could be a force to be reckoned with going down the road. And I've been saying this since Dana came up on the roster, that she could be one of the best moving forward.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think right now, because even if she was good in the ring, I think she'd be overshadowed by Charlotte, Bailey, and Sasha.
She would have been better if Nikki came to the Raw roster and she went to the SmackDown.
Right. I think she'd do great.
I think she would have done so much better.
But even still, she brings that kind of enforcer-like attitude, because she's a jacked woman.
You know who she needs to beat?
Nia Jax?
Exactly.
I was just gonna say.
Let her beat Nia Jax, and it'll put her on a whole different level. Just because most of Nia Jax's matches have been squash matches, because she's a big girl that can just manhandle people. Let Dana Brooks manhandle her, or woman handle, what the fuck ever, and let her get the win, and just see how Dana just jumps to another level. Because A, the fans will love it,
Absolutely.
because someone beat Nia Jax from these squash match bullshit things that she's been doing. And at the same time, Dana would have beaten an opponent that's worthy. And I put quotations because he's not like a Charlotte or a Sasha or a Bailey, but Nia Jax is still a worthy opponent in NXT.
Nia Jax is the right opponent.
Right. Exactly.
It's the perfect fit if you're going to put Dana over and you're going to cement her as somebody that is a force to be reckoned with. Because right now...
Edge's wife back.
Who?
Edge's wife, Beth Phoenix.
Beth won't come back.
That's so sad!
She won't come back. But that's besides the point. I think that's the way to go for Dana Brooke.
Hell yeah, for sure.
I think the women's division...
That's how you get Dana Brooks over.
And you have to do it with her as a face right away, initially. Almost, yeah, because Nia's a heel.
But it does... Okay.
In this regard, because
in this regard, it would be best, but you don't necessarily need it to happen. Because she'll get a face rub if she beats Nia.
Right, think about it. But that's what I'm saying. Ultimately, she's going to end up being the face in the match.
Oh, for sure.
If she beats Nia Jax, she's almost like the next China kind of thing.
Okay.
Okay? If you beat Nia Jax, what do you do next? You want the belt. You just beat the baddest bitch on the roster.
Sure.
You want the belt.
Sure.
So that's kind of where I see them going with Dana. Bailey and Sasha, I love watching them in the ring. There's a great natural chemistry with the two of them. And Charlotte, I've said it before, I think she's a botch fanatic when it comes to these big profile matches, but tonight she was spot on.
She was spotless today. I was like, when did she botch today?
No.
She was stellar, dude. Okay.
Yeah. We move on from that and we go to Chris Jericho versus Sami Zayn. I'm sorry, you know what? Chris Jericho versus Sami Zayn was before the women's match.
Doesn't matter. Didn't care.
Yeah. But it was still good because I love watching Sami Zayn in the ring.
Didn't care.
Really
I genuinely, dude, we were
really
the most quiet during that match.
Yeah.
Because as much as I love those two, because I love me some Jericho, 20 plus years being a fan of Chris Jericho. I watched him in WCW. I watched his debut in WWF.
You can love
and plus, he is, I told you, he's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. It doesn't matter, I understand John Cena, and I understand all that shit. Jericho has left.
Yeah, let me put it. Let me
back.
say, because there's a lot of people that say Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, different things like that.
No.
I think Jericho is the greatest of all time on the roster right now. And it's really hard because Michaels was the same way. People love to hate him and hated to love him.
Right.
Jericho's the same way. They were both great on the mics. The problem is they're different eras. Granted, Michaels and Jericho both have transcended so many different eras in their time.
But Jericho's still here.
Right, Michaels is older than Jericho too.
But Jericho's still here. Who
I
cares?
agree. I agree, but again, it'd be like saying Bruno Sammartino.
Not even the comparison.
I'm not comparing him to Chris Jericho.
Okay.
Not at all. But it's like saying Bruno Sammartino is better than Triple H. Different times, different eras of wrestling. Whereas back here, it wasn't necessarily one guy picking the guy and anything like that. Sammartino was genuinely liked by people because he was voted as a champion for 7 years.
I don't look at it that way though.
Again, you and I look at things differently.
Right. Because the way
And
I look
when
at it
comes
is
to
this.
the greatest of all time, and this is everybody's gonna have their own different one.
Oh, they absolutely will for different reasons.
Right.
The reason why I say that Chris Jericho is the GOAT right now, he wrestled in WCW in the 90s.
Hmm.
He debuted in WWF.
He also wrestled in ECW.
He also wrestled in ECW. He's transcended every era that has come and gone. He was in the Attitude Era. He was in whatever the fuck you want to call the era before that. He was in the Reality Era.
Well,
He's now in the New Era.
the era
like
before the Attitude Era.
Golden Era, whatever the fuck.
Well, no, it was the new era. It was the new era for WWE, but WCW was just kind of starting out, and Chris was in Japan, I think, for that.
Yeah.
I think Chris was in Japan before he went to WCW, and I kind of look at Japan because I don't know too much about their history. Japan's over here in that regard. Yes, Chris transcended those eras, but when Chris really started to matter in America was when he came over as Lion Salt Chris Jericho in WCW.
So you're going based off of when he was relevant.
Right. Because
I'm going based off of all the cumulative work that he's put in.
right, and I'll agree with you that he's put in a lot of work, but probably I'll go with 80% of people that are gonna have this argument are gonna want to talk about when they were relevant, when a person was relevant. Because if you're gonna talk about the greatest of all time, he needs to be somebody that's known, and you need to talk about him when he was known.
Okay, so okay, so if you're looking at it from WCW status, he's been known for a long while.
Right.
New Japan, known for a long while.
Right.
ECW, known for a long while. And then he made his WWF debut against The Rock.
Right.
Which immediately put him on the map. He's the first undisputed champion.
Which is really funny, because if you look at where he was in WCW, from a booking standpoint, he was kind of a nobody. He was a name, but they weren't doing anything with him, and he was a mid-card guy that would go out and wrestle 2, maybe 3-minute matches.
But so was Rey Mysterio.
Right.
So was
But that's what they were doing at the time with those guys. So
right.
it's hysterical to watch him do this 2-3 minute promo or match that realistically doesn't matter. Like, you're not invested in it.
Right.
Nothing against him, you're just not invested in it.
Right.
And then 2 months later, here he is interrupting The Rock with probably one of the best introductory promos ever. And that has a lot to do with because The Rock and Jericho just have natural chemistry.
You realize that he is he has had the Intercontinental title more than anybody else. He's a 9-time Intercontinental champion. Nobody's topped that shit yet. He's a multi-time world champion. He was the first undisputed champion.
He has one
He's
of the,
a multiple-time
he has one of the most
champion.
decorative records ever.
And he's still going. That's
I think
what
this is his
separates him.
longest run since
His comeback run for sure.
him
He's
and
been doing it for a
Jericho,
year.
when him and Show were together.
Yeah.
It's his
Back
longest
when he was a heel, full fledged.
Yeah.
He just walked out in a suit and everything. Yeah, for sure. And then he feuded with CM Punk. Like, he's feuded with everybody, which has made it awesome. The fact that he's transcended all these different times and all these different eras, and still, that's the difference. He still has the popularity
and
that he's had.
No doubt.
Makes him the
And
GOAT, hands down.
Absolutely.
The fact that he still busts out lion salts like they're nothing, still busts out walls of Jericho, came up with the code breaker, which is a whole different move, still can go for a 15-20 minute match like it's nothing. They can say, you know what, I'm gonna go on tour with Fozzy for a little bit. I'll be back, and then a year later come back
And still do
not
it.
miss a step. The GOAT, man. Jericho's the GOAT.
I'll give it, but and this isn't even a rebuttal. It's one of those things to where when you talk about Chris Jericho, and I was listening to his podcast the other day, and the thought came to me.
And he does podcasts in his spare time.
And I wanted to bring it up. It's even funny because he does them at the shows, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
Look at all the people that Chris Jericho has either worked with, feuded with, been partnered with in some way, shape, or form.
Yep.
They've all touched gold.
Yep. Everyone.
With the exception of Fandango.
He's still young.
Right.
He's still got plenty of time for something else.
The only reason I brought up Fandango is because I figured you would argue it with me.
Right.
But they've all had some sort of gold.
Yep.
Whether it's with Jericho
The Rock,
or whether it's
Triple H,
after Jericho.
KO.
The Rock, Stone Cold, and Triple H were stars by the time Jericho came in.
Right.
And had already touched gold.
But he got the privilege of working with them. So
Right.
he got that rub. And now he has
But what I'm talking about is look at the guys that have never had gold in their career at all. You know, big gold. And I'm talking, and when I say gold, I'm not talking this. I'm not talking the United States title. I'm not even really talking the tag team titles.
Right.
I'm talking the big one.
One of the big ones.
So Kevin Owens.
Who was the last guy he beat for the title? Do you remember?
Who, Jericho?
Yeah.
You just brought it up on this. He hasn't held a belt since
Undertaker.
Yeah.
The last dude he beat for the World Heavyweight Championship was Taker.
Yeah.
Taker. If he never touches a belt again, the last title that he went for, he beat Taker for it.
Yeah.
A man who has been here for a quarter of a century.
He hasn't held the belt since
2010? 2009?
9.
Yeah.
9 was when he held the belt.
Yeah.
But we're talking way too much about Chris Jericho.
Yeah. Moral story, go, and he won against Sami Zayn. That's the moral story.
Moving on. United States title matches next. Wasn't a lot of matches on the card. Alright, so let me
This
bring
is what fucks me out of my
let
IC title.
me bring it up. So he's up because Chris Jericho won. He's up 3-2. Going into this match, he needs to win in order to take this home.
I need my boy Ruru to come through hot.
He picks Rusev,
Of course I did, because it's
and I go with
Rusev.
logic, and I pick Roman Reigns.
Fucking Super Roman. God damn
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight you have a brand new, and the only title to change hands tonight, you have a brand new United States champion in Roman Reigns.
Oh, this man.
This is the first and probably the last time I'm ever going to be glad Roman Reigns won. Because it kept this bad boy from going home with this douche.
May I? May I?
Sure.
Okay. The match was great. It was a great match.
And
let me wait before you start. I don't hate Roman Reigns as a wrestler.
Yes.
I think Roman Reigns can wrestle his ass off. For sure. I think he puts in the work. I think he's got the look. I think that he's got the charisma. I think Roman Reigns can go far. The reason why I fucking hate Roman Reigns, I'm going all over the place.
I know.
The reason why I don't like Roman Reigns is because storyline-wise, they have screwed him over.
Yes.
Hardcore.
Yes.
Because everybody else, with the exception of Seth Rollins, but it made sense, had a singles title before they went for the World Heavyweight Championship. And they pushed Roman down our throats, and we wanted more Daniel. They gave us more Roman, then Daniel got eliminated, and we still had Roman, and then they wanted Roman to beat Brock, and there wasn't. People would fucking riot. Insert my boy, Seth Rollins, who, thank you, Seth, for saving,
WrestleMania.
not only
31.
saving WrestleMania, but saving Roman's career.
And maybe his
People
life.
don't realize that. He saved Roman's career with that move. But that was WrestleMania 2 years ago. Let's focus on tonight. Roman and Rusev put on a fantastic match. It was beautiful.
There are
I'm
a couple-
sad that Roman beat my boy Ruru.
There
but
were
it
a
is what
couple
it
of
is.
parts where it was really predictable what was gonna happen though.
I called it. I'm like, Superman punch? Yep, Superman punch. Like, okay, but that I expect that now. And it sucks, but I expect a certain level of predictability for John Cena matches, for
Roman
Dean
Reigns.
Ambrose,
Yeah.
for Roman Reigns.
All your big guys.
All your big guys. I expect it. Like, Cruiserweight Classic is why I love it so much. I can't predict it. Freaking NXT, I can't predict it. But Raw and SmackDown, I can predict it. That's why I'm not so much a fan like I used to be. But whatever, Roman won. He's the new U.S. champion. What the fuck ever. You stop me from getting this, you piece of shit. I'm about to challenge you for the U.S. title and take it from you. Because can't get that one for another 2 weeks. Bitch.
We move on to the main event of the evening. Kevin Owens.
Was that the main? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
There wasn't a lot of matches on the
There was
card.
not. But they were long matches. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit, I'm cool with that. Okay.
Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. Holy crap,
KO won.
what a match.
KO won.
KO won. And we called it. That's why when the United States title match ended, we knew this was held up.
Yep.
So we ended the evening tied 4-4.
Yep.
Okay. I think that the Kevin Owens Seth Rollins match was beautiful.
So
I loved the X chops that they both did.
so good.
The running senton into the table was great. I think Kevin Owens almost killed himself on that one though. The pop-up powerbomb into the pedigree was cool.
Oh, so good.
It would have been nice to see the Phoenix Splash.
I was waiting for it.
I thought that's what he was going to do when he got it.
But I'm okay with the Kevin Owens Bullfrog Splash and the Seth Rollins Frog Splash.
Yes.
Totally cool with that.
Absolutely.
And like I was telling him that I don't understand how people cannot like Kevin Owens because his trash talking in the ring, his innovative offense in the ring, his innovative defense in the ring, everything that KO does in the ring is gold. There's not much you can point out about Kevin Owens unless you're hardcore nitpicking that he does wrong. Is he hurt? Is he hurt? I don't really care. And he clotheslines him. And then goes, you suck it. You suck it. Goes for a senton. Misses, but whatever. He yells headlock master in half of his matches. He does pop-up power bombs and goes, that's it, before he does the pop-up power bomb. This is my show. He trolls so hard. He talks to the camera. He controls the camera. He controls the audience. He controls the tempo of every match that he's in. KO is the next big guy, whether people like it or not. I don't give a fuck if you're a Roman fan. I don't give a fuck if you're a Seth fan. I don't give a fuck if you're a Dean Ambrose fan. Kevin Owens is the next big guy. The next big match that KO needs, which I'm hoping will be at the next big four, preferably WrestleMania, will be Kevin Owens versus Brock Lesnar. I want it. Book it.
You've wanted that for 2 years.
2 years I wanted that shit. Because KO deserves it. He's the...
Here's
okay,
my
there's two
question.
people like... Okay.
Do you put KO over?
No. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no.
And knowing that Brock Lesnar does not always like to do business, as I call it, do you think it's the right move? Because I like watching Kevin Owens in the ring. And I think if this was Brock Lesnar 2002, 2003, when he first debuted, and it was Kevin Owens now, match of the year for the next 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
But
Absolutely.
the way Lesnar is right now, I don't think that'll be as good of a match as everybody would want.
That's why I was going to say, before you stop, there's two people that I want Brock Lesnar to fight now. Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe.
That would be awesome.
That's the only two people right now.
I would like to see Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens go at
They've done that in NXT.
it. Okay,
I'm over it. I'm over it. And it was beautiful. Oh, it was so good. But I'm over it. I want Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe, or Brock Lesnar, Kevin Owens. Because I look at the rosters of Raw and of SmackDown, and I literally, me being me, I look through and I'm like, who would I want this person to fight with this person? And I look at Brock Lesnar, and you look at who he's gone through, and there's not a lot of people that I give a fuck about. Like, I don't want to see Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles. I don't,
I don't
because
either.
it's so much of a difference of style
Well,
and weight class.
And you would ground
But,
AJ Styles.
You would, yeah, for fucking sure.
Now it would be cool to
It
watch
would
him
be
go
cool.
for a phenomenal forearm catch and drop him.
Oh, fall into an F5. That would happen without a doubt in my mind. But you look at people like KO, Brawler, Prize Fighter, going against him, and it makes sense.
Yes.
You look at people like Samoa Joe, who should be on the main fucking roster
But-
by now.
But it makes sense.
But I
for him to
understand
have
why
to
he's
be.
not. I understand why he's not. But he should be. He's not, but he should be.
I agree.
But if you put Samoa Joe and his fighting style against Brock Lesnar, that's a 5-star match on paper. They execute everything properly, killer match. You let him put Brock Lesnar on the top rope and muscle buster him one time and let Brock Lesnar kick out. People will lose their shit.
I agree.
Lose it.
I agree. I get nervous when it comes to a Brock Lesnar match anymore.
Because people get hurt.
They either get hurt or it's just not fun to watch. Like the Randy Orton Brock Lesnar match.
I knew that though.
But and I did too.
Everybody said
but
that.
even-
Like, why would
even
you put
Brock
Randy
Lesnar-
against him?
Brock Lesnar, Dean Ambrose. You know,
I
Brock
expected
Lesnar.
that too.
But again, that's the problem. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Right.
It's you're expecting them to suck.
I didn't expect it to suck, but I already knew.
And the fact
Like,
and somebody brought
When
it
they
up the
put
other
CM
day.
Punk versus Brock Lesnar, I'm like, CM Punk is not going to beat Brock Lesnar.
Somebody
Come on,
brought it up
yo.
the other day. Brock Lesnar right now only does like 4 things. Like we always talk about how everybody's got 5 moves of doom, whatever have you, and most of those guys can do other stuff.
Mhm.
Brock Lesnar has 5 moves of doom and can't do anything else.
He has 5 moves, period.
But
does.
that's what I just said.
Yeah, he has the clothesline. He has the German. He has a regular suplex. He's got
Belly to belly.
the belly to belly.
And
We have 5. That's it. But because, and this is why WWE rolls with such a small skill set, when you see him German suplexing people 14, 15, 16, 22, 74 times, you're not saying, oh my god, another German.
You're saying, oh my
over
god,
it.
he's dead.
Holy shit, another German. So, run with that bullshit right there. Oh my god, a suplex. Nobody bats an eye. Holy shit, he just clotheslined a dude. Nobody bats an eye. Oh my god, he just picked that dude up and literally belly-bellied him to the fucking moon. Nobody bats an eye. Oh, F5, it's over. Nobody bats an eye. That's why the 5 moves of doom work so well for Brock, because and they said this on What Culture MMA. If you look at CM Punk's debut, look at Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar won, legit, the UFC Heavyweight Championship of the world. CM Punk got whooped. Fucking wrecked, son. Which proves that Brock Lesnar is way tougher than people gave him credit for.
Yes.
So now that he comes back to WWE, you don't need flashy moves.
The only
You
thing I want
fuck
to see.
people up in real life.
The only thing I'd want to see, if Kevin Owens and Brock Lesnar are going to go at it, to bring us back to tonight, is they throw hands, and they throw hands for a while.
For sure.
Just
Super kicks.
not the forearms that he does with Sami Zayn. I'm talking straight up just haymakers and just bah, bah, bah,
I can
straight
see
to
that.
each other.
I feel like he'd do a lot more kicks,
I do too.
and Brock would do a lot more hands. And I feel like that one of those kicks would lead to a T-bone suplex, like a counter. But whatever. That's being specific. But no.
If we're gonna talk about throwing hands, and I know it would suck, and we're talking about throwing hands and throwing kicks, Brock Lesnar, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Nope.
Only because, and I'm not saying give me a real match.
Right.
Let them kick and punch the absolute bloody hell out of each other for 5 minutes, and then get them off my ring.
Yeah.
That's all. That's a
that
guilty
match-
pleasure, though.
As much as I love Shinsuke Nakamura, and it would be a good match because they're both IWGP champions, but that's it. It's the same concept as AJ versus Brock.
Right.
IWGP champions, former champions. That's obviously why that match
But
is drawn.
but like I said,
But
it wouldn't
you
be a
put-
match.
Yeah, no.
Just give me a
But
fight.
if you put,
Go ahead.
but if you want that, get Hideo Itami versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Those fuckers throw hands.
Give me that
Those
too.
motherfuckers throw hands. I want Grand Metalik versus Shinsuke or Hideo. Those fuckers throw hands.
I agree.
For real.
I don't care
Like,
what you give me. Just give me somebody that can fight on this side. Give me somebody that can fight on this side.
dude,
They don't do a single wrestling move for 5 minutes. They just go out there and beat the piss out of each other with hands and kicks.
for sure.
So
Fingers crossed out.
bring it all kind of back around. Kevin Owens retains the title after a ref bump. After Stephanie McMahon sends another ref
And
down.
gave a little smirk whenever Seth
Yeah,
got
we didn't
pinned.
catch that smirk, so we don't know if that was
What?
if that was meant to be caught, if that's gonna play into it, if Seth's gonna be pissed off tomorrow night.
Fuck it.
There's a lot they can do with this. There's no Triple H appearance, which
What?
it is kind of diminishing the fact that Triple H helped
Right. A little bit.
because he's not on TV, he's not egging Seth on, anything like that. I'm kind of hoping that tomorrow they start building to a Survivor Series match
Mhm.
because they're gonna need that time.
Yep.
The next time we see Raw with a pay-per-view is going to be Hell in a Cell.
Mhm.
And if Triple H doesn't come out tomorrow, he's probably going to come out Hell in a Cell.
For sure.
But then that doesn't give them enough time to set up for Survivor Series. That's my fear.
Not necessarily.
I
It's-
like-
it's
but
it's
see,
got
I
it's
like-
got preface building.
I like the long build, though.
Right. It's
I
got
like-
preface building though. if you
Right.
think about it.
Right, it does, but I like the long build. I'm a fan of the storytelling,
Right.
of the continual storytelling, not this pause to be continued.
Right.
Okay, here we are 6 months later, starting up again. So that for me, that would be great to see.
Right.
Overall, I think Clash of Champions was really good. I still kind of think Backlash was a little bit better.
Yup.
I was more hyped when Backlash ended than I was when this ended.
Yeah.
And I said it before, I probably would have been more hyped if there were a lot more title changes.
Yeah, that would have been different. But I mean,
It makes it a little bit more
but
exciting.
flip side of what other titles would you want it to change?
I would have wanted the women's title to change, obviously.
Yep.
And
U.S. title did change.
and
I didn't want if TJP was gonna lose the cruiserweight title, I didn't want it to Brian Kendrick.
No,
right
no.
now.
it would have been okay. I would have been okay if New Day lost.
I would not have. I would have been furious.
Only because
As fuck.
now we're getting the New Day where they were gonna fight for the belts. And I would love to see the promos regarding that. Because now the promos are kind of a little stale, I guess.
I want that to happen in 64 days. When they are the longest reigning tag team champions.
Okay, I'll give you that one. Alright, fair enough.
So in 64 days,
Which
allow
for
them to
Survivor
drop the
Series.
titles. Yeah, allow them to drop the title at Survivor Series. I'm cool with that. Let them beat which is quote unquote the demolition record, which I think was like 462. I think they beat Paul London and Brian Kendrick. That one's been beat.
Yes.
So that's the last one. Let them beat the demolition one, be the new longest reigning tag team champions, and then let them drop it. And then everything's cool with the world. Because now you have the New Day setting the tone for the next generation as opposed to Demolition, who has not wrestled since 80s. 84?
I'm kidding, but
Oh, it's like late 80s, early 90s. That's all I ask.
So we were supposed to have a special guest tonight. He decided he wanted to sleep. Pansy. Next time we meet is going to be October 9th.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do No Mercy.
2 weeks from now.
It is SmackDown's second pay-per-view, which is
Boy.
shaking up.
He's going to take this title from Andy Ritz. I'm going to take it. It's going to be mine, and I'm going to
Let
be
go
the
of the
reigning. Hold on. I got to do my reigning. The reigning, defending, undisputed, intercontinental predictions, heavyweight, buck 40, champion of the world.
He's a cruiser.
You're going to like it. You're going to learn to love it. Carry on.
So, like I said, October 9th, No Mercy, SmackDown. It's shaping up to look pretty good so far.
Yeah.
We
I'm actually
will
pretty
have
stoked to see what they do with
we
it.
will have a special guest for that one. I'm gonna hold that one close to the chest.
Confirmed.
And yeah, I like the new setup that we have.
Yeah,
It
man.
looks a little bit
pretty
more
jazzy.
looks a little bit more official. Not sure I like the windows behind this, but
So I closed it.
yeah. Wait, I closed it.
I closed that one.
Oh yeah, I had that open to.
Yeah, I was like, I don't like it.
But
Some people watch
I
it.
like how it was set up. Yeah, that's it, guys. I'm Ritz. That's Jax.
Jax.
Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to our channel for the love of Bob. This was Breakdown.
Who the fuck is Bob? It doesn't matter.
Shut
The
up.
story is you vote for me to be champion. Champion.